All right. Good evening, LBA team. Hope everybody's has had a successful and awesome week. As you guys know, we are in OEP, so I hope you're maximizing each day that you're out there in the community talking to seniors and reviewing their plans. I am super excited for today's training. We have Roel Benavides, which has a ton of experience. He is a broker executive manager with Humana. As you guys know, Humana is one of the biggest players in the industry when it comes to the plan. So doesn't matter what state you're in, Humana is a big player. So super excited to have Roel. Roel, are you there? Just want to confirm you're here with us today.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you, Roel. Perfect. Okay, so we'll get started here in a few minutes, Roel. I'm going to turn it over to you. But let me give a quick introduction. So Roel has over 6 years of experience. He actually was an agent, a producer. He sold in all 50 states. So he has a ton of experience background, not only from the Humana internal side, but he actually did it. He did what a lot of you are out there doing. So he's going to get to share with you some of the stuff that he did that made him successful. He works now at the home office with Humana, so he's representing one of the biggest carriers in the United States. So he's going to share about Humana, what makes them different, and then he'll also give you some information at the end on how to connect with your local broker, okay, and figure out how to make those connections on a local level so you can get integrated, join trainings, be a part of the community, and get connected with the Humana reps so you guys can continue to build your book of business. So Humana is one of my favorite carriers. By far, I write probably most of my business that I write goes through to Humana. So super excited to have Roel here today. Roel, I'll turn it over here to you, man. Thank you very much.
All right. Good afternoon. So I work from home. So my actual home office is in Illinois. I live about 10 minutes south of the Wisconsin-Illinois border. If you're looking at a map of Illinois, Wisconsin, smack dab in the middle, 10 minutes south, near a bigger city called Rockford. Prior to coming into my role, I was in sales with Humana, the DMS telesales. I did that for a couple of years, and then COVID hit, and we all went to work to home. And then during that portion, I've been working from home, have a better view, get to look outside. I got a nice tree in my front yard, get to see the world go by instead of sitting in a big old office building. It is awesome. For that, I have about a 70-minute commute every day to get to the office in Madison, Wisconsin. So a little bit about me. Some of my skill set may come to, I'm very comfortable talking to about any situation, any person you put me in. Prior to coming into this world or into this role, I was a police officer for 19 years. I was a patrol officer, a drug and gang detective, a child maltreatment detective, and a patrol sergeant. So I did that for 19 years. The world changed. I was really good at doing community policing, working with different types of people. I enjoyed working in a socioeconomic diverse community. The world started to change, and I had kids late in life and took my pension and ran and found myself here doing insurance, doing Medicare. I did that for a number of years, and during that time frame, when I was working for Humana as a Medicare agent, I started originally with just my Illinois and my Wisconsin license, and before I knew it, I had 16 states licensed, and I blinked, and all of a sudden I had 50 states and Washington, D.C. We call that a Med 52, because if you have all 50 states, state of North Carolina, you need 2 licenses. So I had all 52 or 50 states. With DC, I have sold a plan everywhere, and it is what it is. Humana is strong in most parts of the country. We're growing. We are not everywhere. And during my last 2 years in sales with Humana, Humana opened a telesales brokerage where they had me and a couple other agents as kind of a pilot project, where they had us appointed also of United Healthcare and Aetna. All those really can be annoying ads with Joe Namath and you name it. Humana looked at that and said, hey, if we're going to have third-party brokers, like eHealth, GoHealth, and nothing bad against those agents, but if we're going to have them putting people in Humana plans, we want to make sure that it's done right. So Humana started buying those ads, and they gave us extra opportunities to make sure that whenever we got those phone calls, we could provide the best service to people. So there were times that people would call me from places like maybe Northern Washington or Baltimore, Maryland, where Humana isn't as necessarily strong or may not have networks established. I would sell United or I would sell Aetna. So I got to know that. And the other thing about selling in multiple states, you got to be a little bit quick on your feet, even if it's just one carrier, because you're going to get a multitude of plans, and those plans change from zip code to county, depending on what part of the state you're at. Sometimes you may have a state like Georgia and South Carolina that'll have similar plans that service both sides of that border. So sometimes the little things, the details matter. Understanding things like maximum money out of pockets, understanding a region in terms of how strong a network may be, looking at things like dental vision benefits, over-the-counter benefits, those types of things help you pivot. Think of yourself as being like water. It's like you're going to go to the path of least resistance, but how do you meet somebody's needs? At Humana, we call it a needs assessment. That first 5 to 10 minute conversation with somebody, you should be able to build a little bit of a rapport and learn what they need and what they want, what's important to them. So everything from, I take this medication, it's important for me that it's covered, and I use this doctor, and I need to have this doctor, I need to have this medication, and I have bad teeth, so I want to have my dentures covered. Just that little bit of information should allow you to start to pivot. And if you know a little bit about the plans in your region or where that person is calling you from, you can pivot and work fast, because time is money. You want to be efficient with their time and your time as well, and putting them in the right plan. You want to have confidence and know the plans you're providing. And I think one of the things that I think most of us at Humana pride ourselves on is we have strong plans. We take care of our members. Not everybody's perfect. You're going to have claims issues occasionally. You're going to have problems with networks where a doctor may close the panel and no longer take patients. There's just things that you can't always fix. But for the most part, we take care of our members. And as a broker relation executive, I take care of my agents. So when an agent reaches out and asks a question or needs something, I try to meet those needs for them. And it's a nice little circle. They know that their members are going to be protected or taken care of. And they know if the member has a problem, if Humana can't solve it on the customer service level, their broker relation executive is going to try to fix it for them. And also the little important things that matter, details. As an agent, trying to understand which election period to go with, knowing which plan works best, knowing how a plan works, knowing how to do a service inquiry. All these things really go into the role that I have, but also as an agent. If you know how to take care of these things, you're going to take care of your book of business. You're going to protect your book of business. One of the things that I tell a lot of agents is when a third-party broker cold calls or somehow gets permission to contact to reach out to people that are in your book of business and they offer them a shiny quarter, they should be able to turn around and either know that you've already given them the shiniest quarter available, or they should have confidence to turn around and say, I'm going to reach out to Trish, or I'm going to reach out to Suzanne or Michael or Cam or Rob and ask about that shiny quarter. And you're going to be able to either say, I already gave you the shiniest quarter possible. We've already looked at the best option for you. Or let's look and see. Is there something shinier out there? And let me give it to you if I can. Obviously, things like election periods and time of year can dictate whether or not you can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a presentation that we call Beyond Going to Cold Pay. Me and a couple other broker relation executives do this for Humana. We do this nationwide. So we're going to show you some of the things that you can do to take care of your book of business and your members. So like I said, I do this with the other broker relation executives. So before I get in this, our broker relation team is broken down by 2 people. Broker relation managers are boots on the ground. They will live in the communities they serve. They're boots on the ground. They're crisscrossing the region, meeting with agents, agencies, talking to FMOs in person, providing resources, doing trainings in person. They partner with broker relation executives. We all work from home. We all do things on the phone or on the computer, doing trainings like this, interacting with agents, sitting here waiting for an agent to reach out to need something, or reaching out to agents to offer something. We get everything from, I got people who've been doing this for 20, 30 years, reach out and say, hey, listen, I got this opportunity and I don't know what election period to go with. I'm not so sure. It happens. Two sets of eyes work best. Do not be prideful or have an ego where you don't feel like you can ask for help. That's what we're here for. So I partner with April Wall and Brandon Johnson, who also work the market surrounding me in Florida. We do this nationally. I work the Orlando market. My market is Osceola, Orange, and Seminole County, 3 counties, which basically encompass the city of Orlando. I have approximately 2,510 agents that are certified and appointed to sell Humana and Care Plus. Care Plus is a sister organization that Humana owns. It's an HMO Medicare Advantage plan that is offered throughout Florida, and essentially 2,510 agents. My job is to help train, motivate, provide resources, and assist in selling Humana and Care Plus. As I like to put it, in the perfect world, all my agents would be planting green Humana flags and red Care Plus flags throughout the countryside. So, a couple things we're going to talk about: dental, vision, hearing, DSNP, CenterWell, DOX/COPD. You're going to like this. Remember this. Over the counter, silver sneakers, Go 365, personal emergency system, also known as PERS, and we'll have the Q&A. So, at Humana, we're more than just an insurance carrier. We do look at ourselves as being a wellness company. We're looking to make things better. Yes, we're an insurance company where we pay the bills and we, work with doctors and networks to provide services to members that have Medicare A and B, and then they come into Medicare Advantage, which is known as Part C plans as well. But we're looking at ways to improve things for them. So a couple things. Well, if you do have somebody that gets a Humana plan, within 7 to 10 business days of doing that application, they're going to receive this card. This is the Humana card. This Humana Gold Plus, those are our HMOs. They're going to have the member information on it. You're going to have all this other information. Don't worry about as much. The Humana ID number is what matters. And it's going to list the issue date. They'll have their name. So every now and then, see this here in the corner. You'll see this with other carriers as well. You're going to see the CMS number. That is the plan number. Okay, that's important to know, because when somebody says, what plan do I have? Look at that corner. You'll know what it is. So on the back of our Humana cards, you're going to see information for them to reach out to member services, questions about pharmacy, questions for the center, whoever their primary care doctor is will be listed on there as well. In some cases, you may see the clinic or the network that the doctor works under instead of the doctor's name. And then you're also going to see dental on the back. You're going to see DEN code and a VIS code for vision and HER for hearing. These are known as supplemental Medicare benefits, or mandatory supplement benefits. Routine dental, routine vision, routine hearing. Those are not covered by Medicare. Medicare Advantage plans cover those. So those are those benefits you're going to see in there. And then you may also see some information for iMed Vision, which is a different network for Humana in Florida. It only applies to PPOs or individual vision plans, not the HMOs. But members can download My Humana account to get their account online and have access to all information, and they can also get a digital copy of their card that way. So something about our dental. I get this all the time, and this is a common thing in case you ever hear this. Somebody may go to see a dentist, and the dentist is going to tell them, you know what, you need to get that DEN 502 plan. So, of course, what happens? They wind up calling you and saying, hey, I want that Humana DEN 502 plan. And you're going to go nuts banging your head against a brick wall trying to figure out what the DEN 502 plan. And unless somebody's come into this or sharp on their game or learned the hard way like I did, banging my head against the wall, trying to figure out what they meant. All of our Medicare Advantage plans have dental built into them. That is a separate summary of benefits. When you read the summary of benefits on a plan, it's going to show you a DEN code. And if you go to humana.com/SB, you're going to get to this website, and it's going to tell you to look up Medicare Advantage. It'll ask you to go members and agents, and it'll ask you to pick the 2024 member Advantage. And you click on this, and the DEN code that applies to the dental plan, it's going to show you a summary of benefit that's probably anywhere from 10 to 15 pages long, separate from the Medicare summary of benefits. So it's a nice way, if somebody tells you, hey, I need coverage for root canal and a crown, it's a nice way to double check that it's going to be covered and how it's going to be covered. Because you may see some plans may be very benefit rich, some plans may be just preventive dental care, some are going to have more comprehensive coverage, some may have major services. In 2024, Humana made it an option that all of our Medicare Advantage plans were going to have some form of dental, vision, and hearing. In some states, you can buy what's called an optional supplement benefit. I'm going to kind of skip past this. So right here, these optional supplement benefit, all the states except for Florida, you can buy a separate policy that attaches to a Medicare Advantage plan that provides enhanced dental benefits, either increases the max allowance, it increases the network coverage where it may turn it from, your traditional HMO to a PPO, and it may add other benefits like things like crowns, dentures, root canals, and such. We're kind of looking to phase these away because we want to make sure that those plans are just built in, because these tended to have anywhere from about $15 to $30, maybe even more in some areas like Hawaii, premium. So you'd have like a $0 plan, and all of a sudden you're paying an extra $45 to have dental coverage. But here's the thing: dental insurance is expensive. It is pricey, and when you do the math, $2,000 coverage times $50 times $12, 12 months, $50, $600. You're coming out ahead. $2,000 coverage. Not everybody gets that. How many times have you talked to somebody who gets mad that something is going to cost them money and they think they should be giving it to it for free? So this portion here, we have two networks when it comes to Medicare Advantage. Our Humana Dental Medicare, that is our national network, okay? If you have a Humana plan, Humana Dental Medicare is a network of doctors. In the state of Florida, we have our own network, which is called Florida Gold Plus Dental. This is a new change for 2023-24. It just, to make it easy, essentially, we had to change our plans in Florida to have this network. It is a mirror image of Humana Dental Medicare. It's just a separate network applied to all Medicare Advantage plans in the state of Florida. But essentially, it works like a PPO. It doesn't allow you to go out of network. But if you live in Orlando, Florida, and you want to go see a dentist in Mission, Texas, if that dentist is part of the Humana Dental Medicare plan, you can go see him. I had this last week. A member went to, from Orlando, was in Mission, Texas, and they're having problems, and they knew that under the Florida Gold Plus Dental, they could see a dentist anywhere in the country. So they went to a dentist in Mission, Texas. Dentist saw them and said, yeah, we take Humana, no problem. Well, and of course, the person, after they're seen, they discovered they don't have coverage for a root canal. Okay, that's fine. We'll solve that problem for them. But they called customer service, and they got a brand new customer service person who didn't know their hole from you-know-what in the ground, and basically said, oh, you're in Florida. You can't go to anywhere out of your Orlando network. So, of course, they made them all stressed out over this, right? So I had to fix it. And then call quality pulled the call, and they basically look at this as a coaching moment to make sure the customer service person is trained. It's kind of one of those things. Why are you talking? Don't open your mouth unless you know what you're talking about. It's important in this world, especially with Medicare, to give accurate information to people. But this person found out, luckily, that they can see that dentist and it wasn't going to be a problem. But then, of course, they didn't have coverage for root canal. So using OEP, they moved them from a really nice HMO to a PPO that has a $2,000 allowance dental, which allows them, when you see the word allowance, think of that as a bag of cash. And root canals and crowns are covered in there. out of pocket, a root canal can run you about $1,200. Out of pocket, a crown can run you about $1,200. That's out of pocket. After negotiated rates with the insurance, between the insurance company / wellness company Humana and the dentists, they're going to be covered nicely for that root canal and the crown. Just to give you an example, I enrolled a guy into a plan, and he needed coverage for a root canal in Ohio before I left sales to come into this role. The guy worked in the dental lab making crowns. He told me that they sell those crowns for about $75 to dentists. Talk about upcharge, right? They got costs, those dentists. They got to pay for their clinics and pay for all the equipment and all that other stuff. But it gives you an idea of how much money those dentists make, right? But our Humana Vision Medicare as well, you're going to have those vision codes. We don't have a separate website to look vision plans up, but you're going to see here the difference between routine eye exams. Typically, we'll pay for that in network. No co-pays on that. And you're going to see an allowance of $400 towards glasses or contact lenses. Some places you'll see where it'll tell you can use that $400 for one pair of glasses, get the ones you want, or there may be 3 fancy schmancy ones available as well. So it just depends on what market you're looking at on here. In the state of Florida, the vision benefits is for HMOs is under the medical portion. You got to look up the optometrist under the medical, not the vision plan on our website. So just a little bit different on here because this shows you how to look up dentists. Vision doctors. You go to the vision portion of it, and you're going to look up iMed essentially, which is the network for all Humana HMOs nationwide and our PPOs in Florida, but not our HMOs. Florida is a different animal. That's a provider directory of Medicare Advantage plans do not indicate Medicare or iMed on the back of the ID card. These plans indicate the summary benefits that the best way to find the in-network providers is to look in the medical directory. It'll tell you the summary benefits. Make sure you read those summary benefits, okay? Now, how to submit an out-of-network vision claim for iMed. If you're allowed to go out of network and you have a PPO, and the doctor or that optometrist says, I'll do the work for you, but you're gonna have to pay me up front. You can get a reimbursement as long as it's network. If it's out of network, same thing on that. Let's talk about hearing. So our hearing, I don't know if anybody here has any knowledge or experience with hearing aids. Hearing aids can start at about $2,500 for a routine hearing aid. Advanced level and premium ones can start costing you up to $5,000 to $6,000. So when you see a Medicare Advantage plans with Humana where you see that the copay of $199 versus $2,500, that's a pretty good deal. Nobody wants to pay $199, but I'd rather pay $199 than $2,500 to hear good music and to hear the voice of my little daughter yelling out "Daddy" across the room. So when you see these copays, they sting, but it's a lot better than paying for something out of pocket. We contract nationally with Hear USA as our network. Always be aware of if you're looking for a PPO, double check that it allows you to go out of network because typically you're still going to have to go to Hear USA for PPOs. My last AEP, I sold a plan to somebody in Montana and their daughter was hearing impaired. They had power of attorney for the daughter and the big issue was hearing coverage. She filed an allegation because she went to go out of network on it. Luckily, they pulled the audio, and it said, I told her, you need to stay in network even under the PPO aspect. So details matter when you're going over your summary of benefits with people on it. So True Hearing, like I said, is somebody that we contract with. Typically, you're going to have to call them directly. You may not be able to find them in their physician finder, but that number's there on it. So I'm just kind of going to gloss over this stuff here. So now the My Humana account, like I said before, your My Humana, Central World Pharmacy, and Go 365 are 3 options that people can get by just logging in and creating your My account under humana.com. 24/7 access to documents. You can look at your plan, ways to do self-service for certain things. You can look up doctors, look up prescriptions, get assistance from pharmacists. The Go 365, which is a wellness program that we have. I'll talk a little bit about that. Just all these items that are there to make people's lives easier. We deal with for predominantly senior citizens, 65 and older, who have Medicare. More and more, you're going to see people are techno savvy, better than I am. I'm all thumbs when it comes to doing a PowerPoint. I remember I was a brand new agent. I had a 97-year-old lady in Montana who lived on the second floor, no elevator, was yelling at me on the phone, telling me that she had the summary benefits in front of her and she wanted me to go over it with her. She was on her laptop looking at the summary benefits. She just wanted somebody to go over it with her. And I made a comment about taking my time and making sure that she could follow along with me. And she lectured me. I'm 97 years old, Sonny. I live on the second floor. I'm in Montana. I can't wait for the winter time. I like to go shovel snow, and I have a laptop. Don't tell me that that you have to wait for me. Always be aware who you're talking to and how techno savvy somebody may be. And as you can see here, whether it's a iPhone app store or a smartphone Google app, you can download that app. I have this on my phone. As a Humana employee, I have my insurance through Humana. So now let's talk a little bit about DSNP, dual special needs plans. These are for people who have Medicare and Medicaid. So all of our DSNP plans come with what we call a spending account card. It has a spending allowance. You're going to have certain benefits. You're going to have the healthy options. So this is the big thing. Everybody wants this now because this healthy options allowance, this is where you can use this to go get groceries. You can go to places like Walmart, Dollar General, Food Lion, Kroger's, Publix, I think maybe HEB or HBCs across the country. You can use it to pay for your vet bills, use it to buy pet food. The reason why we cover this is studies show that senior citizens with their animals will take care of their pets before they go pay for their medications. Let's make it easy for them to take care of things that they love and still take care of themselves. You can use it to buy disaster supplies. You can use it to pay for your gas bill, your light bill. Can't use it to go get gas though, but you can also use it for things like Uber, such. And then you're going to have the over-the-counter allowance. It's important to look at these individually in your market because some of them are mail order only. Some of them have to be, you can use at the store. Some of them have rollover. Some of them use it or lose it every month. Use these for pre-approved items for things like vitamins, supplements, things for digestive health, bandages, allergy medicine, adult diapers. That's a big one. Some people giggle when they hear that, but you know what? You're dealing with clientele that this is important for them to use it. The flex allowance. When you see flex allowance, this pertains to those mandatory supplement benefits, dental, vision, and hearing. It's an allowance that, let's just say you use all the benefits. Let's say you got $2,000 dental and your dental bill is going to be $2,250. It's going to help cover what isn't covered. Let's say you have about $400 for your glasses and you want a pair of really fancy glasses that cost $650. Guess what? You got your $250 to cover the rest of that on it. And also for hearing aids, use it to pay for that copay. These cards, if you have one and you switch to a plan that switches your benefits, you'll still use the same card. You don't get a new card. And you do have to activate it. So some people will call and get angry and cuss out their neighbor or their agents because they went to Dollar General and it didn't work. Well, they didn't register it. You got to call and get it registered on it. But, these healthy allowances, as we talked about here, 100% of our dual eligible special needs plans have this. Some of our chronic special needs plans have them. I have them in my market in Orlando, and you can see those range from $35 up to $275, and annually $420, $3,300. So do the math here. Let's just say you have one that is $200. It's got rollover, and the plan starts January 1. You don't spend it, and all of a sudden come December, hey, geez, I need to use that. 200 times 12, $2,400. Use it to pay for your rent. Use it to go buy some groceries. Use it or lose it before the end of the year. Make sure you look at whether or not there's rollover on that. So CenterWell. CenterWell Pharmacy is Humana's pharmacy that does mail order, and we also have some retail pharmacies throughout certain locations like Conviva and CenterWell Primary Care. Whenever you do an enrollment, It's important. You're going to see at the bottom of your enrollment, it's going to ask for something called a MAF, Member Authorization Form. We own CenterWell, but it is a separate entity. We cannot give them information. So if I enroll Robert Johnson into a plan, I can't reach out to CenterWell and say, hey, Robert Johnson has a plan of us starting March 1st. Reach out to them and explain the benefits. That's a HIPAA violation. But we can't share any of that information without member authorization. Now, here's the thing. You're going to run into somebody who will say, oh, well, I'd like to go to Walgreens. I'd like going to Walmart. I want to get my medication down at Legacy Advisors Pharmacy. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. As long as it's a network, get your meds where you feel comfortable at. But I want you to feel comfortable knowing about what benefits you have available and what services. You know, why get in your car and drive downtown and get in line at CVS because they don't have enough pharmacy techs and you can't go through the drive-through when you can have your meds sent to you at a $0 copay potentially? Why pay for all that? I had a guy that I enrolled in Miami, Florida one time, and I was offering him this service and asked for his permission, and he was adamant he didn't want it. The guy leaves his house once a month. He's like, I get dressed, I put on my fancy shoes, I wear my tie, I go get my groceries for the month, and guy must eat all canned soup and stuff, and I go see my friend the pharmacist. That's when I get my meds. Purposely does not get a 90-day supply because that was his social interaction for the month for him. So not everybody wants it, but at least offer it to them. Somebody from Central will reach out and explain the services and the benefits to them, and then they will essentially offer the service to them. And if they don't want it, at least you're educated about it. Because the other thing too, if members don't know about this and they find out that they could have gotten their meds for $0 or got them through the mail, they can also come back and say, well, nobody told me about this. You don't want them mad. At least explain the difference, the process to them, and just say, somebody's going to reach out to you and offer these resources and explain how it works. That's the best you can do. Our CenterWell Specialty Pharmacy section does financial assistance. So if a medication is really expensive or a higher tier, we have lots of services in place to help finance those costs. We also do, for higher price medicine, we can help out with a payment plan. You know, it's better than layaway for those of you that are old enough to remember that. But CenterWell Pharmacy also does the over-the-counter, diabetic supplies, the continuous glucose monitors and test strips and all that other good stuff, maintenance meds. You know, low-cost generics. We have the waiver program. We work with LIS. If those medications are covered predominantly by LIS, but they may have like a $1 or $2 or $3 copay, we're going to waive those for them for certain meds. We do the payment plan. We have the auto refill, the medication dose reminder, refer diabetic supplies, lots of things in place to make their life easier. Not everything's perfect, but it's pretty damn close. And for new prescriptions or transfer, medications are delivered within 7 to 10 business days, 5 to 7 business days for refills. Over-the-counter items, 10 to 14 business days. And please note, over-the-counter benefits on MAPD and MA plans offered by Humana, and where OTC is not a plan benefit items available for out-of-pocket costs. So if somebody wants to order their stuff through our plan and don't have the benefits, they can do it. We have 3 facilities that provide that mail order. So it used to be just in Arizona. In Ohio, guess what? My market in Orlando, they just opened up a mail order facility there. So just doing a better job of getting meds out to everybody across the country. I can't talk about it now because I haven't seen it, but in the past, our mail order pharmacy was winning the J.D. Power Associates Award for customer service. That means we're getting people their medication accurately, timely, and a good deal. That's how you get that award. I'm not sure if we won it this past year or not. I should know that, but I don't. Let's see here. So retention, book of business. This is what matters to you. 5.4% retention for members who use pharmacy to us, getting their meds this way. So just think about that. That means that people are staying on the book longer, happier with their plans. It's little things like this that matter to build your book of business. We do this because we're good at it. We do this because we like it. We do this because we like to help people, but we also do this to pay our bills, right? 5.4% makes a big difference. For those of you who have been doing this for a while, you may see that, for an example, it's about $25 plus a month for residuals when you have a person on your book of business. So you do that math, 5 times 25, I'm horrible at math, but that's about $125 plus extra a month in residuals if somebody's been on your book of business for over a year, staying on the books. Give you an idea, my rock and roll agent in my market, he has 1,556 people on his book of business. Do that math times 25. A lot of work building it, but it's also a lot of work servicing and maintaining it. So these are just some of the enrollment options that we have for Humana. eHub is our software platform for enrolling. FastApp is something we're going to be phasing out, so don't worry about looking at that. That's what I used to use when I was in sales for Humana. We have online enrollment through My Humana where people can do it themselves. We don't want that. We want them to go through an agent. We want you to guide them through the enrollment. All these different services, Connecture, Sunfire, TSIG, and like I said, the Medicare, the medical authorization form is important. Please get that done. We talked about this, talked about that. So this is just kind of the information here. If you have a smartphone, take a snapshot of this little Q code thing here. This will get you all this information so you'll have it already. I'll get out a set of emails that'll have all this information to Gabriel so he can disperse it to you guys. But if not, just go ahead and take a screenshot or get your camera, phone camera, and snap that for yourself. A peek at the chat here. Someone has to pay the monthly penalty for not having a Part D when they set up. Can they submit a credit card to Humana? Yes, they can. Let's see, we do have multiple options on that. So when you enroll somebody, they're going to choose either number one, do they want it taken out of the Social Security? Do they want to be billed? Do they want to use their check or credit card? It'll give you an option for payment. Even if it's a $0 premium, Medicare wants to know how you're going to pay for it, even if it's zero. And the reason for that is if somebody has a Part D late enrollment penalty, they want to know, do you want Humana to take that money or do you want them to come after you for it? So also explaining that service to people in case it's going to get taken out. Ask those questions. So DOAC COPD inhaler, this is a program that we have. So this is how I explain this program in terms of advertising. We spent the past year training agents on it and we had to put the brakes on it. Imagine, for those of you that have gone into a nightclub or a bar or a pub and you walk in and you look around and you see two people and you see the bartender and you walk up to that bartender and say, hey, I'm buying drinks for everybody. And all of a sudden 100 people come running in from the back room. Oh crap, what do you do? Now you got to pay for 102 drinks, right? And the bartender's going to want his shot too. We are still going to pay for this, but we do not want to bottleneck the resources. And by that, we don't have enough people in place to service this program. So we will proactively reach out to people. So what is the anticoagulant program? Members with a diagnosis of atrial fibrillation, deep vein thrombosis, or pulmonary embolism. What does that mean? They're taking Eliquis or Xarelto, expensive meds. Or members diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, who participated in the COPD inhaler program. Reduced cost share selects maintenance inhalers, things like Trilogy, Ellipta, Brevia, all this other kind of stuff. These are like $500 inhalers. Eliquis, it's about $500. It's expensive, and once somebody reaches the donut hole, those copays can go from anywhere from $25 to $47 all the way up to $125. And if you've ever experienced this, how many times has somebody reached out to you in the month of June, July, August, September to tell you the insurance isn't paying for my meds because their copay went up, because they're in a donut hole? We're still paying for it. They're just responsible for 25% of it. These programs are put in place. So if you have any of these ailments, AFib, DVT, or PE, we have a clinical team that will reach out. And if you take these medications and you get these medications through Humana/Centerville Pharmacy, mail or retail, or a local pharmacy, you get it for $0 or $10. And this applies to the deductible initial coverage or coverage gap stages. That is a big deal. But what do we want? We don't want agents using this to induce a sale, which I have mixed feelings on. If it's important to somebody to have their Eliquis covered, why won't you tell them, hey, this plan may cover it? But that's the thing, you need to be sure, because not every plan covers it. COPD, similar thing. The clinical team will identify people that are taking this medication, that are on a plan that offers the program, and they'll reach out to them for these low-cost inhalers and also a spacer device. So these are the two medications, Eliquis and Xarelto for the anticoagulant program, and the COPD inhaler. These are the ones that are covered. Advair, HFA, Briolipta, Trilogy Ellipta, Symbicort. These are expensive medications. Everybody's on a fixed income for the most part, all ages, but even more so when you're in Medicare and you're retired. So how do people participate in this? The clinical pharmacy team will identify people in 2024 who are on a plan that participates in the program, and they will reach out to them. Now, saying that, sometimes people fall in the cracks. If I had a person on my book of business that was taking Eliquis and the program was available on their plan, I would want to make sure they're taken care of. If you run into that issue and your member says that they haven't been called, reach out to your broker relation executive or your BRM, broker relation management, and they can look into it for you. So over the counter, CenterWell does this. This is the phone number. You had this earlier. We have a digital catalog that we send out to people. We used to print them out. We're trying not to kill trees. If somebody wants a physical catalog, they can reach out to CenterWell, and CenterWell will send them one. But we're not sending out boxes of these to agents like we used to in the past. But, these are just some of the examples, some of the things that you can order through there. And for Humana plans, you can order them through mail, fax, phone number. You can go online to do it. You can do it through your smart app. Care Plus also utilizes this for those of you in Florida, and it is done through Care Plus does not do online, unfortunately, which I'm not happy about. So you just got to call them. That's something we're working on. So a majority of Humana plans have Silver Sneakers, as do Care Plus plans. Silver Sneakers is a fitness program where essentially various locations like Gold's Gyms, Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, YMCAs, all these places accept it. So think about this for those of you who may go to a gym. You're paying anywhere from $10 to about $50 a month maybe to go work out. Well, imagine not having to pay that anymore because your Medicare Advantage plan has an agreement where you can go work out in any of these locations. You can, if you're always curious about what's in there, go on to silversneakers.com and enter the zip code for your member and check out to see what's there. You have the gym, they have group classes, they have at home. This was really big during COVID, the COVID years there in 2020 and 2021, where we had members that were, doing their workouts online because they couldn't go to the gym. All right, so Go 365, this is a well-being program that we have for our members. Everything from little things like taking the stairs, walking in the parking lot, getting your blood pressure checked, getting your teeth cleaned, all these things are going to get rewarded. You document it, you log in, you create your account, and you know why? 48% of members said that Go 365 was one of the reasons they decided to renew with Humana. 85% of Medicare Advantage members completed an eligible healthy activity in 2020. As a Humana employee, I have this as well. I track my steps. Every time I go to the doctor for anything, I document it. Guess what? I save those points, and every November, I use it to get Amazon. And then I use it to buy one or two gifts here and there. Why not? If I'm trying to be healthier, why not? But members can do this, complete eligible health activities, earn rewards, and redeem them for gift cards. Also, this kind of gives you an idea what they get, $25 rewards once per year for your annual wellness visit. You do your mammogram colorectal screening, $50. All this can add up. You can really build this up. And this is just an example of the places. I don't think Amazon is available for Go 365 for members, but this is just an example of some of the places. If you're like my dad likes to watch what he eats, and he likes to walk, and he likes to take care of himself, and then he goes to see his doctor, and the first thing he wants to do is go to Applebee's and eat something he's not supposed to. What better way to do it with a $50 gift card for taking care of yourself? So our personal emergency response system. This is that I've fallen and I can't get up system. Not all of our plans have it. You need to double check the summary of benefits in your market to see if it's available. But essentially, we pay for it, we pay to install it, and we pay to maintain it. It's It's a nice way for somebody to feel secure in their home. So we have a thing called an HRA. It's a health risk assessment. All new members to Humana or Care Plus, we will pay you $60 to do this. We started doing this back in 2020. Over the course of my 1.5, 2 years that I was finishing up in sales when we started doing this to the time I came over to my role, I only missed 6 of these. I used to get paid $25 each. I was averaging about 35 to 45 sales a month. It's a nice chunk of change. Mama likes new shoes, and I like to buy myself some every now and then too. But what are you doing? You're taking care of your members. It's a nice way to make sure that things that they may need are going to be taken care of. There may be services in the community. There may be resources or benefits they may be eligible for in case they have a chronic condition or certain situations that they just need extra help. Our care managers will review this assessment and reach out to them and make sure they get the benefits and are taken care of. It's a nice way to take care of your members. Plus, it's an extra $60 on top of the commission on this. So Q&A, any questions? Let me look in the chat. What do we got here?
Hey, Roel. This is Carl, and I didn't introduce myself well earlier. I'm our national trainer. So I do a lot of stuff on the basic Medicare, how to sell, all that stuff. First of all, thank you for going through the presentation. I appreciate that. Let me ask you this. If I were to give you like just a couple minutes to say why Humana, right? Because we do Humana, we do United, Aetna, Cigna, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Why Humana? What makes Humana special?
We are a wellness company, not just an insurance company. We take care of our members. We like to think out of the box. I believe we have the best broker relation team in the business. There's other carriers that don't do what we do. We have broker relation executives and broker relation managers in every market. If your member has a problem, Humana is going to do everything in its power to take care of it. Like I said, not everybody's perfect. If member services can't fix it, if there's a claim issue, you can always reach out to your broker relation team and we will work to resolve the problem for you. Humana takes care of the members. We take care of the brokers. We help you take care of your members. It's a nice circle. You can feel good about selling Humana and having your book of business with Humana. We pay top commission. We do everything we can to make it better for our members and our brokers. Let me give you an example. A certain company that's significantly bigger than Humana in my market, somebody from that market with the bigger company has been reaching out to agents wanting to know why they're not selling their plan. Those agents said, because every time I have a question or a problem, you never answer my call. You never respond to my emails. Roel always answers my calls. Roel always responds to my emails. Well, about a year ago, that person was like, who the heck's Roel? I've been in this role for almost 2.5 years now. She knows who I am now because I take care of my agents, and I know for a fact that pretty much everybody else on my broker relation team throughout the country, we take care of our agents. We look for ways to make it better for you.
Gotcha.
Does that answer the question?
So I'm hearing awesome product. I'm hearing that you take care of both the clients and the producers. What I got from your presentation, and feel free to add if I missed something that's unique or special to Humana, but the spending account, the Ghost 365, the way that the OTC is able to be monitored online, in some markets, the Lifeline, and of course the $60 for the HRA. Is there anything I'm missing that's unique or special to Humana?
Like I said, our biggest thing is the broker team. We look for ways to make it better for our members and our agents. And I can say this, I know for a fact, not everybody does it like us. Some may try. Some may try to copy us. In 2024, we have 5 states that have 5-star plans. That's just not a plan that's fantastic. That is a plan that also gives you an election period year round to help move people into the right plan for them. I'm going to share my screen again. There's a website. Let's see. Stop sharing, and then I'm going to share.
Hey, Roel, while you bring that up, this is Gabriel. Thanks for today and going over that. That was very informative. We've got a lot of new agents that this is their first year in Medicare, so I think that was a good overview, and even going into some of those important basics, I think that was really good. Are you able to connect if the agents reach out to you? Are you able to put them in contact with their local broker executives or managers in their area,
Yes,
so that way they can establish relationships and they can get involved with Humana and really start, joining the trainings or support and get support on a local level?
I'm sure that. Do you see the screen that says ignitewithhumana.com?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Write that website down. You can do it yourself, or you can reach out to me and I'll do it for you. Okay. So you look at here. Here we go.
Get support.
Get support. Find your team. It was covered. The little Zoom thing had it covered. So you go to here. Find your team. So let's just say we're going to go to Florida, right? Select. So these are the markets here. We're going to go to Orlando. And we're going to go the whole team. Submit. You see my ugly mug right here? I have a much bigger beard than that right now. Brandon Johnson, he works North Orlando, the Panhandle, and the Daytona Volusia area, but he has the outskirts of Orlando, which is considered North Orlando, kind of like the villages and such. He's got about 200 agents that are an offshoot of that area. Rafael Romero used to be my partner. He left Humana back in November. He was offered a sweetheart deal, better hours, almost double the money, different industry. God help anybody who says no to that opportunity and work at home. So he wound up leaving. So I've been working the market for the most part myself. We have a new broker relation manager that'll be coming at the end of the month, but I'm not at liberty to say who that is. But this is how you find, this is an Orlando market. Wendy Roman, she's a decent coordinator. She also retired, so they haven't removed that. These are local sales managers for Care Plus and for Humana as well. When you see local sales manager for your area, those most likely are going to be career managers. They manage a career agents, but they're also a resource as well. You can reach out to them, and they're either going to be able to help you, or they may be able to say, hey, listen, I got to have to refer you over to Roel. Or they'll reach out to me and be like, hey, I had Robert Thomas reached out to me, and he's got some questions on this and that. Can you reach out to them? Absolutely, and I will turn around and call if I'm able to right away. Let's say California, right? So California, let's just say Orange County.
Hey, Roel, real quick to hone in on that a little bit, because I want our agents to have the resources that they need, not only just rely on us and our back office team, but on a local level with the carriers. Can you just briefly touch on the support that the broker relationship managers offer on a local basis once they connect? Like, what kind of things can you guys do for our agents?
So they are boots on the ground. Everything that I've been blabbering about for the past hour, they're going to do the same thing, but they're going to do it boots on the ground. They'll also be able to provide things like promo materials. I have somebody reach out to me and be like, hey, listen, I have an event in 2 weeks. It's a church group. I'm going to be doing a Medicare 101. Can you help me out with some sales kits? And do you have any promo items that I can have? Okay. So that broker relation manager may either, if they can't get to you, may mail you the items. They may leave you a care package at one of the local offices, or they may meet you somewhere. They may be like, hey, listen, halfway point is McDonald's on, 10th Street. Let's meet at McDonald's. Let's get a cup of coffee. Let's talk about your book of business and what resources I can provide with you. Let me learn a little bit about you, and I'm going to, give you 50 squeeze balls, 10 back scratchers, and 85 pens. Let's say Humana on it.
Nice.
Things
Okay.
like that.
Fantastic, guys. And they can come out and do trainings like the one that we just did. If you're building a team, which a lot of you should be focused on building teams. I've been looking at the leaders bulletin, and I know that we've got a few of you guys on here that are building teams, you guys can actually on a local basis. Right now we got Raymond, which has got 5 recruits. We got Dr. Humidi Pointer. She's got 5. Daniel Ebert. We've got a few of you. We got Stacy that's on the call. She's got 2 recruits for the month. So good job to you guys. As you guys are building teams, you can reach out to these broker relationship managers and they can do in-person trainings with your teams and help them get going.
And
so don't just rely on our weekly Zoom meetings or YouTube channel. You can get involved on a local level as well, guys. Go ahead, Roel. Sorry.
that's one of the big things that I push with my agents. I will sometimes get some of the agency heads will reach out to me and be like, hey, listen, I have Gracie on the line here. She's got some questions. Would it be okay for her to talk to you? Absolutely. You tell Gracie that she can call me every time she needs something. She does not need permission from you to talk to me. So, if literally, and I'm going to say Gracie. Gracie, I trained her. She's a newer broker relation executive. Sayeda, she's new as a broker relation manager last fall. She's actually was a broker relation executive. Both me and Sayeda, we won President's Club in 2023. So she went in this role. I like my role and have no need to want to crisscross spiderweb the city of Chicago, even though that's about an hour drive for me. I was like, you can take that role. I don't want that. I like working from home. But
hey, there is a good
Gracie,
question there, Roel. There is a good question here. Actually, you've probably heard about the IE SNP plan that United Healthcare has, right? Is Humana going to come out with anything like that? Have you heard anything about that?
Let me see. Hold on. IE, is that like an integrated plan? What's IE? Somebody fill me in.
Yeah, so it's essentially it has to do with things that
It's
assisted
a
living.
special needs plan for
There you go.
Institutional. That
Okay, integrated. We have those. We have that for long-term care.
Right, and those are for specific agents only, correct?
Yes, but actually that question came up today, and it might be able to be sold by all the agents now. But here's the thing about those plans. Those we call it it's a DSNP plan, but we call it integrated on ours. It comes with long-term care, so you do need a certain level of Medicaid assistance to get it on that. So not everybody can get it. It may say, you got to have QMB or QMB plus, but that's why, like in the past, career agents, you had to have only a certain number of career agents, and the market would be trained in it because it's a big training. You got to be on cue and in sync with the state Medicaid on what is needed to have it on it.
Gotcha.
But we have those ready.
Actually, Raul, what I'll do is I'll probably reach out to you later on and get some more specifics.
Let me look into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we could
one
talk
thing about
offline
PPOs. Yep. Last thing about a PPO. Let me bring this up, and I'm gonna say United does this. We came out with a decent PPO this past year in our market. Read the fine print, okay? Because it's the same thing for the Humana PPO, especially when it comes to DSNP. Whenever you look at a summary benefit and you see a range that says 0 to or like 20%, if they are not cost share protected, they're going to pay that 20%. Be really wary of that. Look at the summary of benefits. I'm going to give you an example. There's another plan in our market. They're big in the South. They're very I'll just come out and say devoted. They were a 5-star plan and they had a DSNP, and they came out in our market with a really high spending card allowance. Fantastic. Blew us out of the water on how much money it is. But here's the thing, if you don't read the fine print, anybody, any level of Medicaid, Medicare is eligible for that plan. But only people who are full Medicaid, QMB, QMB plus, or full benefit due eligibility can get that spending card. And they have a smaller network than we do. So a lot of people were switching up their doctors to get that plan and enrolling into their plan. But then guess what? They gave up their doctors because the network wasn't as large, and they were not eligible for the spending card of $350 because they were like SLMB or Q1. So those details matter. I talked to an agent in the middle of November. I reached out to this agent. I was talking to them, and she told me she had written 25 D-SNP applications for Devoted. Every single one of them was SLMB. So they were not going to get that card, and almost every single one of them had to switch their doctors to get to the plan. She had to go back and rewrite all of those applications. Time is money. So make sure you read your summary of benefits for whichever carrier you're going, because you don't want to put people in a bad spot. If you put them in a bad spot, and you also open yourself up to an allegation. You know, they're going to come back and they're going to be like, did you tell them that they couldn't get the spending card? Oh, I missed that. Details matter. Cross your T's, dot your I's. But the PPOs are big on that, 0 to 20% on that. So just be wary of it, because I have people who agents will put somebody in the D-SNP PPO in our market and forget to explain that. And then they got to go back and try to fix it, or tell somebody, oh, geez, you're going to have to pay 20% when you go to the doctor because you're not cost share protected.
It's a good point.
Okay.
Thanks
So
for
there's full
sharing
Medicaid, full Medicaid, QMB plus, full benefit dual eligibility. Here's the thing about full benefit dual eligibility. SLMB plus, not always. Okay, every state is a little bit different. Some states do not honor full benefit dual eligibility as being considered cost share protected. That's what you're looking for, is cost share protections. Not every state does it. New York does it, Florida does it, but then here's the kicker. Florida has an internal level of full benefit dual eligibility that opens it up for different services. So that muddies the water. So you really got to ask these questions. And if a person doesn't know, usually the best question is, have you ever had a copay? Do you pay copays? You know, that's kind of the first kick. And then, you know, here's the thing. Always do your eligibility check with whatever carrier you're going at. Verify, are they eligible for the plan, and are they eligible for all of the benefits in there? When I say all the benefits, it's not just the bells and whistles, but are they getting zero or a copay? You know, it could be a dollar amount. It could be $0 to $50, 0 to 20%. God forbid having to pay 20% of an inpatient surgery. Don't set somebody up for failure, because they're just going to boomerang it back and hit you in the back of the head.
And Roel, what you're saying is, if they have a question about what their level is and what kind of benefits they would get, they really can either just make a phone call to the broker manager or to the Humana support channel and get that answered fairly quickly.
Agent support.
Correct?
Yep,
Awesome.
Agent support will look that up for you, and they'll tell you. But here's the thing.
Perfect.
People make mistakes. Sometimes you get new people and we'll tell you one thing. If you're not so sure, guess what? Reach out to your broker relation team, because it's our business to know. And if we don't know, I'm going to flat out tell you. If I don't know, I'm going to find out and I'll get back to you. I do not like giving inaccurate information. One, because then I can't sleep at night if I'm not so sure about something. And it matters. You need to trust us to give you the correct information on it.
That's great. Roel just made a great point, guys. So a lot of you guys will be in a position where you have a question or not sure about something in a plan. Don't guess. Make sure you're giving the right information. You have your broker relationship managers, your broker relationship executives if you can't get a hold of them. And let me tell you, I've been working with Roel here for a short period of time, and he's great. He gets back, answers emails, everything. He joined on the training today in a really short notice. So Roel, thank you so much. This has been just absolutely extremely informative. And even though some of this stuff is tough to talk about, guys, this is the stuff that makes a difference between a great producer and a mediocre producer and people that build huge books of business, right? So I love it. I think this was an unbelievable training today. Roel, thank you so much for taking the time from your schedule today. I know it's past your work hours, and we really, really appreciate you and all the help that you did for us today, my friend. Okay.
The last thing I'm going to leave you with, as the independent broker out there, beating the street, you know, slapping the curtains, looking for business. If you do a good job with somebody, you put them in the right plan, and you take care of them. They belong to you. You belong to them, right? And that residual commission is important to build your book of business and also to help you live the life you want to live, right? But here's the thing. Do not forget to ask for referrals. Too many agents don't do it. That is how you get your my rock and roll agent who has 1,600 people on his book of business. He doesn't do any advertising. He doesn't go on a radio. He doesn't go on a book. He works solely by referrals. Every time he talks to somebody, if you're happy with me, please talk to your neighbors and your friends. Give them my card. Have them reach out to me. Not every referral is going to be a sale, but you know what? If you go over their current plan and you come back and you say, you know what, you're in the best plan right now, don't make any change, that is just as good as putting them in a great plan. They're going to remember that, and they're going to tell somebody. My last AEP on December 7th, had a lady called me in New Mexico. She had the best plan. I couldn't do anything better with her. She called her 5 best friends throughout the Southwest. I wound up getting three of the 5. I enrolled them in new plans during AEP. The other 2 were in the best plans possible. I couldn't do anything better. So, I mean, out of the 6 people, I got 3 of them. And the first one, all I did was honest with her. I looked at her plan. I said, you're in the best plan already. It's better than Humana's. I can't do anything better for you. Can I get your name and number? Yeah, absolutely. Tell your friends, tell your family. And that's what she did. And then I spent the rest of my AEP that afternoon talking to her friends in California, Los Angeles, New Mexico, Arizona. I got 3 more sales that day to finish up because of a referral. It matters. It builds your book of business, and that's how you get your name out there. Ask your friends. Everybody who's got a grandma or a grandpa or a neighbor, ask them. Please give people my name and number. All right?
Thanks for sharing
have a good
that.
afternoon.
That's
Thanks
a
for your
huge
time.
nugget. Huge nugget that Roel just shared with everybody. Ask for referrals and do the right thing, guys. You don't have to get a sale every meeting. If you do the right thing, you can ask for referrals and it'll lead to other doors that will open up for you guys. Guys, everybody have a fantastic rest of your week. It was great seeing everybody. Get out there. Make sure you have everyday count. We're in OEP right now. It ends at the end of March. It'll be upon us quicker than you know it. Get out there and make a difference. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.